Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Glendale Housing Authority meeting of November 4th, 2008, Election Day. If you haven't voted, go out there and vote and stop watching this TV. May we have a roll call for the authority who has already voted?
Authority members: Raymond.
Here, I voted.
Lindsay.
Me too.
Najarian.
Here.
Brazian.
Here.
Quintero. Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Chairman Yusefian.
Here. May we have your report, please?
The agenda for the November 4th, 2008 regular meeting of the Glendale Housing Authority was posted on Thursday, October 30th, 2008 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
Thank you. Do we have minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, minutes will be approved as submitted. What's next, please?
Next is oral communication. Discussion is limited to items not part of this agenda. Each speaker is allowed 5 minutes. Members of the Housing Authority may question or respond to a speaker, but there will be no debate or decision, and the matter may be referred to staff through the Executive Director for an investigation and a report.
Okay, I have, one card. Okay, I have one card. Herbert Milano. Mr. Milano, you can only speak if you have voted. Oh, I see, you have, so.
I have my validation.
Oh, good.
Good afternoon. My name is Herbert Milano, members of the Housing Authority, city staff. As the economy begins to solidify its downturn, it is my belief that many of the families who are at risk, families who begin to lose their breadwinner, if they happen to lose their jobs, I think it's going to create a significant strain, especially to those families who do not have, should we say, a large equity position on their house. You know, 62% of the residents of Glendale live in apartments, and many of these individuals are finding that, you know, their economic position much more precarious. What I find kind of difficult to accept is that the Housing Authority does not get on a regular basis, you know, a continual status report on those social measures that identify what is the actual need out there in the community. I know that later today you will be approving the CDBG funding proposals, but I think that overall the city needs on a proactive basis and on a regular basis, not just every 7 years, obtain the type of measures that define where the city needs to put its attention. You know, after all these years of coming here before you and attending city council sessions, I'm beginning to sense that the primary purpose of the activities of those individuals who come to run for office are to be able to align themselves primarily with real estate interests. You know, whenever there's a housing authority activity, you are sure to have your energy and your dedication and your study when it comes to development. But when it comes to all the other rest of the social issues, it doesn't seem to be the type of continual interest in solving those problems. The reason why I came here today on this election day is because what I hear from some of the candidates sometimes is, you know, that they run for office to solve problems. And even though housing is a problem that is being taken care of, the number of families who are actually impacted by these additional measures to provide low-income housing, for example, only affects a few dozen families, or maybe a score of families a year, a very minute portion of the overall population. And I think that there's a significant number of families out there who are definitely in need. Families at risk, youth at risk. And I pay attention to those individuals who run for office to say, I run for office for the purpose of solving problems. Well, these are fairly significant problems that have been going on for decades. You know, the high school dropout, the individuals who don't have the proper assistance at home. And yet, when it comes to having the funding for police and prisons and so forth, and the bond measures that are needed, somehow there's always money for that. But the attention and the money and the resources needed so that we prevent the problems, there's very little attention. Week after week, you open up the Housing Authority, you close the Housing Authority session, and there's no discussion of these issues. So, did you not run for office for the purposes of solving these problems? If you don't do it, then who's going to do it? The county? Are they coming to Glendale and saying, okay, we're going to solve your problems? No. The state of California? No. The federal government? So who does? I mean, we get the money indirectly, but as you know, we're getting a smaller and smaller budget every time. So who does solve that problem if it is not your position to do that? So it's kind of unfortunate that I sort of come to the conclusion that, the main purpose for some people who have run for office is primarily to advance your political careers. At least there's a couple of councilmen that I believe that that's the purpose why you're here. And it is my hope that I'm wrong, that you take some initiative to say, we want to take a look at the social issues and the social problems that this city has, and we're going to set up policies and measures to be able to go out there and solve them. And it is my hope that you do that. Thank you.
Thank you. One more card. Andrew Gross, is it about oral communication or it's item on CDBG?
Item on the agenda.
On the agenda, not this one. Thank you. Oral communications closed. What's next, please?
Next is any new business or authority member or staff comments.
Any comments? I think Mrs. Parisian has to go and work on
I'll stay.
There's two more housing. You sure? Okay.
One more house.
Because I know you have to be working on a poll, so
Yeah.
I'll keep you that. Okay, with that, there was a motion on the floor for
Adjournment?
adjournment. Is there a second? Okay, we're adjourned.